Hey, what's up, guys? Talon back with a video. I'm gonna show you guys something I discovered as I was kind of messing around with Battlefield 2042, um, and something I was hoping I was gonna be able to do when the game first came out, and then I discovered that they had removed it. So I was kind of disappointed to find when the game first came out, and it's still that way actually, that they removed that resolution scale slider, something I think that's been in the game since like Battlefield 3, maybe even Battlefield Bad Company 2. I think Battlefield Bad Company 2 might have been when they first added it. It might have been Battlefield 3, but it allowed you to go beyond 100% render resolution. So even though your screen, say, is 1440p, 1080p, 4K, whatever, you could render the game at a higher percentage, like 125, 150. It was a slider from 100% all the way up to, or from 0 to 200%. So the max value you could go to is 200%. So if you had a 1080p screen, 200%, you're now rendering at, I guess, what would that be? 1920. I guess it'd be 4K, right? Yeah, so you'd be rendering it at 4K resolution. Um, is that correct? Got to check my math now. Uh, yes, 4K. All right. So you'd be rendering at 4K. That's yeah. You guys have to excuse me. It's like it's midnight where I'm at right now, so I've been up all day studying and just too much coffee and the brain feels fried. So you could adjust that resolution slider. Well, anyway, that's now gone. But what they have in the game, as opposed to being able to go up, is that you can actually render at a lower dynamic resolution. So if you don't have an NVIDIA GPU to use DLSS, they allow you to use dynamic resolution to get better performance, and then it upscales from there. So sort of like resolution sampling, I guess. And then if you obviously have NVIDIA GPU, use DLSS. Normally, I would only recommend quality balanced or possibly even performance for 4K. I usually use quality. I think balanced probably still looks really good and you still get great performance, but I'm pretty happy with the quality, and that's as close to native. Remember, depending on what your resolution is that you're trying to play at, so if you're trying to play at 4K or 1440p or 1080p, DLSS uses a lower base resolution, so it has less amount of information the lower the resolution scale you go down. So if you go from 4K to 1080p and then you use DLSS at 1080p, it renders at lower and lower resolutions internally and then upscales from there, which is why a lot of people complain that DLSS at 1080p doesn't work or it's broken because they're probably CPU bound, or it's going to look like shit because the amount of information that it has then to work with and upscale from there isn't really that great. It's not enough to make it's getting better, but it's still rendering much lower than 1080p depending on the quality setting you select here, and then upscaling. Remember, every quality setting you go down, it changes the base resolution that it renders at, and then uses the AI to essentially recreate and reconstruct that image to get as close to the selected resolution that you've chosen. So really, I'd recommend 1440p is the minimum to use DLSS, and then 4K is really where it shines. I'm going to show you guys something cool though tonight that I've discovered. So we're actually going to go DLSS off. And we're playing at a mix of medium and ultra. I'm actually probably going to end up turning this down as we go along just to kind of mess around. 4K, 160 hertz display. So right now DLSS is off, and this is a 128 person server conquest. I think we got enough time left here in the map. Yeah, we should. I've turned off the HUD just for kind of immersion and visual fidelity to remove all the crap from the screen. It makes it just awesome looking. So for me, with a 12900K, DDR5 6000 megahertz RAM, RTX 3090, it runs like absolute butter. If I use DLSS on quality of 4K, this game just absolutely runs beautifully. It's a very CPU heavy game, and with the 12th gen Intel CPU, with the extremely fast IPC and all the cores and all the threads, and now I'm getting faster DDR5. I have 6000 CL36 in this system now. It just chews through this game. Absolutely destroys it. Even right now with these settings, God, this game just is so gorgeous at 4K. Absolutely looks gorgeous. So I was kind of disappointed that they removed that, because what I wanted to do was be able to render at a higher resolution, then use, I'll move that, use DLSS to get better performance. They removed it, so I thought, well, I can't do that. So I thought I'll use DSR. unfortunately, DSR doesn't work with my monitor when you're using 4K 160 Hz profile. It's like a separate EDID for the monitor, and it blocks out the use of using DSR. So that was out. So I just kind of thought, well, never mind, I won't even bother with it. Until I discovered you can do this. So you can go resolution, or render rather, resolution scale, and it's back. So resolution scale 2.0. So we'll be at 4K, and 4K times 2 or 200% is going to bring us to, or times 2 rather, is going to bring us to 8K. So you can see FPS goes way down. Now it's in rendering the game just like it did previously internally at 8K and then displaying on your 4K display. So even though you don't have an 8K display or 12K or 16K or whatever, it still renders at a much higher resolution, and you still get the benefits of that higher internalized render resolution, and the game just looks freaking phenomenal. So you can see the VRAM usage goes up, FPS goes way down. Obviously that's not real ray tracing, this is just screen space reflections, but they look really nice. But the game just looks so freaking good. Really, really good. So obviously, 30 frames per second, not going to be super playable for most people. This, just with the weather and everything, just fantastic looking game. And they've really, I believe they're going to fix this game. I've been having fun. I've been playing the heck out of it. I'm, I think, a level 40. So I've got like 40 hours gameplay or something. Just, and that's not just trying to grind. That's just playing the game. Looks so damn good. I really just want to hang out, and I can go into some action later, but I kind of want to just hang out and show you guys the game, or the visuals. So not playable. So what we do is we go in here. You can use DLSS on top of this render scaling. We'll go to Ultra Performance, and now it's rendering at 8K, and then thinks that's my native resolution, and then using DLSS on top of that 8K to now get us back to 60 frames per second. And it's because it has so much information to work with when it reconstructs the image, it doesn't look any lower quality than what we were just using. So now we're playing at DLSS 8K and getting 60 frames per second, and it looks insane. Looks so good. I don't know who's friendly or who's enemy because I've turned the HUD off, so it removes all of that stuff. I don't even think I get hit markers. I think I got the hit sound there. I don't know if he's friendly or not. So you guys get the point. This is obviously an option if you just want to create a cinematic maybe for the game, or you just want to really hammer your system. Right now we're pulling 430 watts through my RTX 3090 Kingpin, which is pretty much on power unlimited. It has a 1000 watt VBIOS floating around if you do want to flash that to it. I think I've got the 520 watt VBIOS on it, so that's the max it could pull if it needs to. I've never found that it's really necessary to go beyond that. I'm just kind of running around just to show you guys what the game looks like. Water kind of running down that. I really like the lights and the reflections. Just how damn good this game looks. And it's just, I mean, it's playing at 8K and I'm getting just insane frames. I'm going to have to go to another section, but we're going to stick around here just so we can see what it looks like, and then we'll move. After that, I'm going to move and see if we can get a kill playing at 12K. So that's 8K with the DLSS Ultra Performance preset, and it's just absolutely gorgeous, super sharp. So now let's go back in, render, resolution, scale. We'll do 3.0, so that's going to take us to 12K. It's 4K, which is my screen selected resolution, times 3.0. And now we're at 12K at 30 frames per second. DLSS is still activated, and now it's rendering internally at 12K and then using DLSS to improve the performance. So you can see about 437 watts. We're at 13.6 gigabytes of VRAM usage. Still getting 30 frames in the rain on Manifest, which is one of the more demanding maps. And we don't have another DLSS setting that we can select to improve that performance. So we're going to be kind of stuck with 4K, or with 12K 30 frames. I don't think that I would probably ever attempt to... Okay, yeah. See, I gotta turn the HUD on. I can't tell who's who's an enemy and who's not. Let's go somewhere where it's like stupid demanding. Let's go here in the middle. I don't know if this is friendly or not. Okay, he's not dying, so he's friendly. Oh, he's blowing stuff up. Let's see what that looks like. That looks insane, but I gotta get out because I'm dying. Is this guy friendly? Oh, not. Oh god, no. Oh, he is friendly. His gun was just shooting me. Okay, so the friendlies must have that, like, green on them. You'd think I'd notice that, but I haven't, you know, by playing this. I'm still getting about 30 frames, and it's, like I said, it's a smooth 30 frames per second. I wonder if we could turn, like, maybe some sort of anti-aliasing off that's not necessary at this resolution, because you're at such a stupid high resolution as it is that anti-aliasing is not going to be something you're going to need. We locked on. That guy sees me. Just firing missiles at these guys. Oh yeah, we hit them. We just have to listen for the tone. God. Oh, that's cool. There's a pink light down there. Let's kind of head down there. Can you go all the way out there? I'm not sure. Let's see. Oh, no, you can't get out there. That's a shame.
We have lost an objective.
Tell you what, let's turn off. Brr. I wish you could just turn that off. See if this helps at all. No. It didn't make a difference. The GPU is just so stressed right now. It's pulling 450 watts. It feels like it's pretty stressed out.
The enemy has all of Bravo sector.
I wonder if I'm on the wrong V-BIOS. Is it... Yeah, so they do have red on them, red and green. How did I not notice that in 40 hours of gameplay? Let's go back to where we were kind of at. Just want to see what it looks like here, where we're maybe not. Can we call him a ranger? No, but we can call him a vehicle just to see what that looks like.
Requesting transport delivery at this location.
Copy that. Vehicle incoming.
See what it looks like. So that's what it looks like being rendered. You know what? I wonder if we just... Alright, so we kind of know what it looks like. About 28 frames per second. What if we just put it on auto? I bet it just defaults. Yeah, so it's just defaulting to ultra performance. Like, no, homie. Trying to play this at... Let's do quality. Okay, so quality is not going to work. So you can see DLSS is definitely working. I mean, you're trying to... Oh, God, that stutter in. You're trying to render at 12K in Battlefield 2042. It just looks so good, though. It's like a movie. Okay, what if we just go to render resolution scale? We'll go back to 8K, give up the 12K dream. Even at 8K, it's really struggling on the quality preset. Man, does that look pretty.
One of our objectives is under attack.
I got him in 8K. Is there someone else over there?
Bravo sector
Hearing
fully
stuff.
secure.
I can barely hear anything because I have it at 15% audio. God. I don't have a freaking like way to I can't see. I just had to. We gotta get out of here. This looks so good. Oh, this looks so damn good. It's so pretty. Wow. Wow. Alright, let's go back to from quality. We'll go to ultra performance. See what the visual. See, it's not even that bad because it has so much to work with, yet the performance increase is huge. This guy's with this little robot dog. These are my teammates, though. This looks so freaking phenomenal.
US forces have captured Delta Sector.
Alright, let's get some action. Let's cruise over here. There's always people over here.
Stop the US forces from conquering every sector.
Excuse me, buddy. Coming through. Oh, it's a tank. I can't tell if it's a friendly tank or not. No, that is not a friendly tank. We're hopping out.
One of them is down.
That guy's not friendly. There's that guy. No! How'd he get me from down there? Alright, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I thought this was pretty cool. If you want to try it out, something to mess around with at home, you can. If you're playing at 4K and you've got a 3090, you're like, you know what, I just want to create a cinematic or... How do I... Am I stuck? What happened? Okay, I have to push E first and just not on my screen because I don't have... Let's go back here. Let's go back to the start just to see what it looks like. Yeah, so about 60 frames. So it doesn't really matter where I'm at. It seems like it's holding like 50 to 60 at 8K on the settings I'm playing at with ultra DLSS, ultra performance DLSS. So, I mean, I would call this a playable experience. If it's 60 frames, it's... Some people find that more than playable. Some people play at 30 frames per second and can find that playable. There's no way I could do it, but 60 frames, 65 frames at 8K is pretty phenomenal. Alright, guys. I'm going to catch you in the next one. Hope you enjoyed this. Peace out.